Innovation Unplugged from the Alabama Community College System's Innovation Center takes you inside Alabama's workforce development. Join us for enlightening conversations with community leaders and industry experts showcasing experiences, addressing key issues, and celebrating successes in the workforce initiatives across the state.
That's it. All right. Hey, welcome back to what is going to be a very fun episode of Innovation Unplugged. I'm Houston Blackwood, and your host for this chaotic event. And on the far side from me is Mr. Matt Heaton. He is the Career Readiness Manager for the Innovation Center. Hi, Matt.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, sir. Nice shirt.
Thanks. I'll send you my workout routine, as always.
You should. You're so deft. In the middle today is a special guest, and I'll be real honest with everybody. I meet a lot of people in my job, and I have a lot of fun. And the first time I met Michael, I was like, I'm going to get in trouble with this guy.
Probably.
Because we see eye to eye. Micheal Breland from Wiregrass Construction Company. You are the Regional Talent and Workforce Development Specialist. That's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot to write out.
I'm not nearly as important as that sounds, but for podcast reasons, we're going to assume I am.
Well, you know what? That's okay. A big title, is just kind of like just a little entourage going out there in front of you. People think, okay, I'm going to expect a lot. And then when you come in and you deliver, even better.
Yeah. Now we just got to figure out how to deliver 3 years into the title.
Yeah, we're still working on that too. From our end. I'm literally still faking it till I'm making it. And I'm like, well, they've not called me on it yet, so we'll keep going.
There you go.
Yep. Well, good. Well, thanks for coming down today. It was a little bit last minute, but we're trying to put this thing together and really tell a story of what our courses look like and really why it's fitting in with industry. And so you are actually the first episode for our series with our industry partners. We're going to go a little bit down the paving train, and then we'll get into some of the other construction and then maybe some healthcare. About 10 episodes of that, but you're the first one, so you're actually going to be like episode 101.
Nice.
And it's going to be pretty good, so we're excited about that. But before we get into all that, tell us who Micheal Breland is, where you been, where you came from, and how you got right here.
Oh, man. So I've been involved in HR, recruiting, some type of aspect of working with people in workforces since about 2009, around the BP oil spill. I started out recruiting on the BP oil spill, which is kind of a baptism by fire experience where, 200-300 people are lined up outside your door at 7 a.m. wanting a job, and you and 5 others get wished the best of luck and tell them you got about 90 seconds to tell me why you need a job and go from there. It was pretty chaotic when it first started, but from there over the years, I've ran staffing companies. I've worked as a corporate recruiter for manufacturing companies. I've worked for a few companies here in Birmingham. I've been in the Birmingham area since about 2017, originally from South Alabama. I've been with Wiregrass since 2023. Yeah, going on 3 years now.
Okay.
So when I got to Wiregrass, that was the first time I really transitioned into that workforce development talent specialist. It was a role that we created a few years before I got there with Eric Fulmer. And, basically that we saw that there was a gap in our workforce between the employees and higher ups, HR, everything else, where, it was harder for them to reach out. It was harder for them to get clear paths as far as what they could do to better themselves, move up, get better at the job, but also that they really didn't have anybody that could help connect them if they had personal issues going on at home, things of that nature. So the role is a bit of a hybrid, as I call it. It's a learning experience for a lot of us because, one day we're helping bring in new employees. We're doing the onboarding and orientation for them. The next day, we may be out in the field working training steps and coordinating the next step for somebody who may be going through some equipment training. And then the next day, you got a guy coming to you talking about, how he doesn't have any money to feed his family because he's got personal issues going on. And, you have to figure out how to navigate all of those and be that person in all those situations. But we've definitely found that it's great to have as a resource for our people. And it's great to be in a role that lets me get out in the field just like a construction PM or superintendent and be there on site and get to mingle with the guys and talk to them, but also be someone who can take the issues they tell you and have an immediate effect in helping them.
I wrote down that you're a people person. Would you identify yourself as a people person?
I've been told I have the ability to have a conversation with anybody. So I guess that's what my boss tells me. He says it's a great skill. My wife would probably disagree at times, but it's I definitely have no problem talking to anybody that walks in the room or any employee that we hire. So yeah.
Are you like the walking embodiment of that meme where it's like me and my my outgoing husband, and he's like on the front porch like waving at everybody, and the wife's like hiding, running inside?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I know. She's the one that like whispers to me at a restaurant like, "Hey, can you ask for mayonnaise or ranch?" And I'm the one that I feel, yes, I need more. But no, and I'm the one, she's worked on me a little bit, back in the day. I may have been more like, hey, but
Ketchup.
Yeah, but now it's like, hey, do you mind if we get some more mayonnaise, please? That'd be great. Thank you.
But at the same time, you also know the entire life story of the person who's bringing that mayonnaise.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And your mom and them and all that.
Yeah, I have a routine when we go to Olive Garden and they ask if you want cheese on it, and they do the little spinny thing. My wife's favorite restaurant is Olive Garden, of all things in the world, but go figure. But yeah, I sit there. She used to actually cut them off for me. And we had a fun ride home one day where I told her that's a huge no-no.
I know where you're going, and I've tried doing the same thing. But
yeah,
continue.
But yeah. So every time somebody is pouring that cheese, I ask them like, "What's the most anybody has ever asked you
Can we run out
to put on there?" And then the record so far is 2 full blocks. Like some guy said, they have had people come in and do 2 full blocks of that cheese on their salad and their meal. And I'm like, so do you just have an extra in your pocket?
Yeah,
how does that work?
question.
Just pull it out the back pocket, blow it off.
My question: Do they leave and go back and bring back the next block?
That's what he said. He said, yeah, I just went back, got more, and we kept going.
So like he doesn't like call in like air support. He's just like, I am out of cheese. I'll be right back. And he just picks up where he goes and like,
yeah, just keeps going. I guess.
You fill on aisle 4?
Yeah. I mean, I would expect the hostess just to kind of like throw a curveball around the table, hit him with a block. But no, I guess they just have a refill cheese station at Olive Garden, and this happens on a regular for them.
I don't know. It's not even that good to me.
I mean, it's okay.
Yeah. So you just like talk to them while they're like doing it, or just keep going. Like, you don't say anything. You just watch them.
Well, typically, I mean, I have a 3-year-old son, and our youngest will actually be 1 this month. So, we typically have one of them doing some type of thing that people can't help but comment on.
Yeah.
That's not always great.
I could
but
you.
100%.
Yeah.
But it's real great whenever the little one's sitting in his chair staring at the guy in the eyes while he's doing the cheese. And he just
Making it awkward.
Yeah, just grabs his bottle, while he's staring at him, like, what are you gonna do? So it really opens the door for conversation.
Now I really want to go to dinner with your family.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. Well, that is certainly a good intro. Quite possibly the most entertaining one we've had here, and I'm just picturing all that happening.
Yep.
On a random Tuesday night at Olive Garden.
Yeah, it's probably Friday because when I get home, I'm like the fat lazy dad that you can expect me to be, and I really don't want to go anywhere. So typically, my wife's like, "Hey, this weekend, let's get out, let's go do something." I'm like, "That's great. Thank you for letting me know ahead of time so that I can mentally prepare to have to wear pants after work." Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, pants after work. That should be like a rock band. Well,
that's a good rock name. Yeah.
So you work for Wiregrass Construction Company, and I would say I'm gonna have to do a hard pivot on this one, man.
Go for it. I gave you no intro for this, so have fun.
Well, we didn't script it. Well,
How do you segue from Olive Garden to?
you don't. You just like cold turkey. We script a lot of these shows now because it really helps most people. Because most people are nervous when they sit in this chair, and you're not clearly. And I knew you would not be, so I was like, let's just go with it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, you don't scare me.
Well, I don't want to scare anybody, but people just you got all those like 12 cameras over there, and you get Optimus Prime in your ear, and all this stuff. So you do work for Wiregrass Construction Company. Now, I need to say, like, they've been a huge partner to Skills for Success. But when we look at all the things that you guys do, and in general, like, but then we have a couple different courses. So what is it about your talent, your training, like how you find people, obviously you can connect really well with people who great cheese. But when you need people to run like machines and stuff and like actually put real product on the ground. By the way, yesterday I need to remind you about the asphalt lab tech. Ask me about that later. Quality control for asphalt.
Yeah, because we're totally not going to get off subject and forget about that.
I'm going to write it down because
there we go.
You will not remember.
Not.
But when you're looking for, you're doing your job. Like, how do you do your job out there in the world right now? Because you hear some data and it's like people don't want to work. People don't have any skills, all this stuff. Like, colleges aren't helping us, all these lies.
Mm-hmm.
People want to work.
Oh, yeah.
And people need to work. So tell us how you do what you do for Wiregrass.
So recruiting is really done by a different group. We have two ladies that run recruiting for the entire company, and they do a great job at what they do. And my department takes over kind of day one. So, hey, it's your first day here. Let's sit down, tell you exactly what the company is about. We're going to talk about our core values. We're going to talk about how, our mission statement and what we stand for is a lot more than just this thing you hear at orientation and then never hear again, like
Right.
you do at most companies. Like we have literally had to let people go due to violation of core values because we preach them on a daily basis, and safety is one of them. That's top. Our president, who will probably see this, he's big on saying safety always. And it's true. It rings true for our entire company, every area, division involved. But being able to be involved with them from the get-go, whether they come in as an asphalt laborer, working at a terminal or working at the quarry, I get to talk to them a lot. They're stuck with me for about 3 to 4 hours, so God help them. They don't get any bonuses for that.
Is that like a test in itself? Like, hey, you made it through the interview, and let's see if you survived day one?
Yeah, like if you can survive a new hire orientation with me without wanting to report me, then I may or may not put in a good word for you. So... that could work out in their favor, but it really does give me the opportunity to talk to them, see where their head's at. And, I give the guys a heads up. They're foreman and such. I could tell them, like, hey, this person clearly has no idea what they want. They're just glad somebody hired them, or this person is really excited about this industry. They actually researched us before they came in. They did their homework. They looked at pieces of equipment, thought they looked cool, really want to try X, Y, and Z out, and steer them in that direction. But, my favorite part of what I do is once the employee comes in, we have so many different avenues to help them, from our mentor program, where we take somebody who is more experienced. The mentor program is something that we don't put every single employee into or let every employee actually be a mentor to a new person. We actually interview them, fill them out. We actually pay them monthly while they're being a mentor to someone, like bonuses, so that they have an incentive to care about this person's progress.
What are the metrics on that, on being a mentor?
Typically can't be a supervisor of people. You have to be on the crew. You have to have been here at least a year, good standing, and just someone who, works well and talks well with others and can relay that info. We're probably not going to take the guy who doesn't ever talk to anybody else on the crew and just does his job and tell him, hey, you're going to teach this person everything you know. I would love to see a detailed report if that were the case. But we've had people that have impressed us so much just from the mentor program and their notes on people and getting involved in their personal life and finding out about them and wanting to help them, that we've had higher ups literally say, like, hey, we should probably give this guy a little bit of a bump. He did an amazing job. This is the most detailed report. We had somebody go through that mentor program late last year, and this year, our area gives out 5 different awards, plus an overall award at our Christmas event / safety event every end of the year. That guy that went through as a mentee, who we thought we were going to fire, actually won one of those awards a year later, and he was very proud of that. And it all started by putting him in that program.
Okay,
and that's a good segue to the apprenticeship that we have. It's actually state certified with
all that.
Yep, state certified apprenticeship program. It's any age. If you have a high school diploma or a GED and you have a driver's license and your experience level is not super advanced in asphalt, We actually have 5 internal employees that we've identified from the moment, they started in orientation to where they're at right now, their foreman's feedback on them. They've gone through the process. We're still in it. We're at the stage now where they're actually getting letter of recommendations from their foreman telling them like, hey, this is why I think this guy would be really good for the apprenticeship program. And we're going to have them sit down with our area manager and myself and others and talk to them and ask them like, why do you want to be in this program? What makes you the best candidate? What are you hoping to get out of this? But skills for success classes are actually part of the curriculum required in our state apprenticeship program.
Mm-hmm.
They actually have to go through like skid steer, roller, other things just to complete it.
Tell me more about that. I knew that somewhere. Maybe you told me, or Eric had asked for the information, like clock hours, seat hours, all that stuff. But tell me more about how it's actually embedded.
So in the apprenticeship program, they actually go through on-the-job training and classroom work. So everything from NCCER classes, skills for success classes, OSHA 10, Smith system driving class. Yeah. We have something called Paved by Numbers that we work with our vendors, and they come out and do specialized training. And then, of course, we have a very large online catalog through our LMS that they can go through with Click Safety and Prior and a lot of other learning tools that they have free access to. And a lot of those qualify for that program where they can go in on their own time and actually get paid while they're doing them. So I give them a tablet or whatever. They go home, they log 6 hours on the computer doing online classes that are required to complete it. They get paid for it. But it's over 200 hours of those sit-down classes, and skills for success is an option that's included in that. The skid steer and roller are currently in there, and I know we're going to be talking a little bit about some newer classes here later, and I've actually already asked a few people, hey, what do we got to do to get those added as well, because they would be great options. So
I don't think so.
You get a lot of certifications just by going through the apprenticeship, and then once you have the on-the-job stuff done and the classroom stuff, you become certified apprentice in paving, which translates to a lot of the other companies that you're going to be talking to in this series that you're doing. That experience transfers, and it's certified with the state apprenticeship office.
With the Alabama Office of Apprenticeship.
Yep. Yeah. The fancy name.
It's very fancy. They are fancy people, but they are good people.
Oh, yeah.
Meredith Smith is the director. She came on, many moons ago. She and Micheal Breland. Did you ever meet Micheal Breland?
No, but for a second, I thought you were going to say my name again accidentally.
Well, it would sound like
there
because it's Michael and a B, but it's not the same.
No, not at all.
Totally different person too.
Never met him.
You guys ever use BuildWit?
I have heard of it.
Dirt World, BuildWit.
Yeah, I've seen it on LinkedIn. I actually reached out asking about their core catalog. They've got a ton of resources on there. I heard the guy just kind of saw a need on LinkedIn, and he created it and is doing very well.
Yeah, so Dirt World is like a huge, like, all things construction event, like heavy equipment, horizontal construction. And he just started taking pictures, and then he was a photographer. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna tell that story. I'm not gonna advertise for him, but it is actually very good stuff. We actually talked to them about 3 years ago about merging their content with our content, and basically they're selling to everybody, and we couldn't license ours at the time,
right?
And they wanted to take our hands-on part and mesh it with all of theirs, because there's a lot of their stuff is like how to get up in the morning, how to set goals, how to do like the pre-operational checks for all the stuff like safety awareness. Like, it's really, really good. But that guy calls himself the chief nerd. But anyway, it was matching all that stuff. I think your Click Safety, which is Prior.
Yeah, Prior Learning, PRYOR.
Yeah.
That's a newer one that we just added, but yeah, huge library of tools there.
But really, it's just like making your employees better every single day. And I have been around 2 of your crews 2 different times, so 4 total days. Like, I was very impressed. I went home after the thing in Jasper, and I was talking to my wife about how everybody was like into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like really good. Like, you got humans and you got grown men, and after a certain amount of time of whatever, they're gonna act like not completely grown men, but they were all locked in the whole time.
And I think a large part of that is due to the fact that, especially in North Central, which is my area in Wiregrass, we cover Greater Birmingham up to North Coleman County, Jasper, all the way down to North Shelby, and Gadsden area, but in our area, we really like to use tools like Skills for Success classes and any other types of training or online courses or anything like that. We use them as rewards. We're not just going to take an employee like, hey, it's a rain day. You haven't really been the best in the world at what you do and you don't really care about your job. So we're going to give you this opportunity to get certified. No, we don't do that. It's not just a box to check for us. We like to reward people with incentives. So, if you're doing a good job and you're invested and you want to get better and we have the opportunity for training, we take those people and prioritize them into things like Skills for Success. So the people that you saw at those classes are the ones that we think are high performing, the ones that show the most initiative to want to get better. And Skills for Success is a great avenue for us to use to help them do that. They may not have had a chance to be on a shuttle buggy or a paver or anything in the past, so they get experience that they would typically have to wait months for, or just wait on a weird weather week or something. So it's a great fast forward or fast track for them to get in the seat.
I've seen that firsthand. How much work do you do in high schools? Like, I know you're not the recruiter necessarily, but so Matt's world is entirely K-12, like the career readiness, which is a fancy word for K-12. And now we're in middle school for sure, 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade with our simulators. But did you see those?
I've seen some. So I myself do a lot of work with the Ready to Work program. Are you familiar with them? With Dante Hardy and that group out of the Birmingham area. And I've gone here in the past few months and spoken at about 20 different schools-ish.
Okay.
Their in-person interview days actually coming up here in a couple of weeks, and I'll be at that with a few other partners at in the Trustville Civic Center, where we're going to be face-to-face interviewing like 300 plus high school kids.
Really?
Yeah, they get 15-minute blocks with companies that they've talked to that show mutual interest. Wiregrass will be there. Others like CMC, Amazon, Mercedes, they've all partnered, and it's mostly high school seniors who some know what they want to do and they're just keeping their options open. Others had no idea what they want to do. I had one kid in his interview literally tell me, like, I know I don't want to be where I'm at, and I know I can't get there without help. So he's really taking advantage of it, and I'm excited to see him and a couple others that have actually had a chance to make an impression with me. And we'll be hiring people because in summer, our paving crews really ramp up. We'll be bringing people in brand new, no experience, out of high school, $18.50 an hour, and the full benefit package we offer our employees and the overtime. And not to mention, if these kids qualify for the apprenticeship program and interview and get accepted into it, they could immediately start out at $20 an hour just because they're in the apprenticeship program. So us and several other partners are doing that with local high schools through Ready to Work. And if you guys have something, I will jump on that as well. But in fact, tomorrow I'm going to Jasper to speak at a co-op/homeschool program. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's something that kind of gets left out a lot whenever we reach out to K-12. Your public and private schools, they all have their setups, but your homeschools, your co-ops, your local church groups that have, the blends, I don't see them as much at those things. So, one of our executives reached out and said, hey, my kids are at this program. They're having a career day. Is this something we could do? And I said, absolutely, we're going to do it. And I'm going to go to it and handle it. So I'm excited about that.
I love that approach entirely, seeing all of it. Matt, how would we connect to those? How would we connect our simulators to these types of events that Michael's going to? Or how would we connect our K-12 completers for heavy equipment construction to Wiregrass?
The first thing that comes to mind would be through our employment-driven activities, whether it be Wiregrass showing up to. We always use the example of these on-site labs are our version of the NFL Combine. If industry wants to come, you get to watch everybody do the thing and pick who you want. But on the back end of that, another one of those requirements is the career fair or job fair. And there's nowhere in writing that says it's got to be multi-industry, but it could be funneled to a specific Wiregrass or specific industry in general to help plug jobs and look into furthering the apprenticeship programs.
So, what would happen, Michael, if we connected you in North Central Alabama? If we connected you to all the community colleges?
That would be awesome. We do a little bit of work with them now. I'm always up for doing more. I was asked to be on the ACCS Leadership Council here recently. So I think our orientation meetings / first video call is Friday. So I'm in that group. So that's going to be fun, getting to be more involved with the community college system in Alabama and helping decide, where they should invest in the industry and how to help us out. So it's a great idea and awesome time for you to say that. So
You should add that to your title.
Yep.
I really should. That's a lot more words. I hope I get paid by the letter as I get promoted.
Well, I think if you have more than 2 lines on your business card, if your title is more, like you get like a 10% bonus. I think Governor Ivey signed that into law.
Yeah, she should.
Last week.
100%.
Hey, real quickly on the topic of the employment-driven activities, would that be the 2 recruiting ladies that you spoke of earlier that would kind of go and do those things, or would that include you as well?
That would actually include us as well because, they typically handle current open positions now.
Okay.
Workforce.
Real HR.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like workforce development, part of what we do is innovating for tomorrow, which is actually one of our core values. And we're trying to look at opportunities for people who will be coming available or going through a certification, and we line that up with our needs and how to handle that. And then we coordinate with that recruiting team and say, hey, we've got these people. They're going to be available in May. They're amazing. Do you have spots for them? We can go to our area managers and say, can we create spots? And then we, work with recruiting and get them involved as well.
Yeah, I bet we have 100 kids in your area at least.
So that's what I was going to ask. What we talked about, a high school senior, if they met the apprenticeship requirements, they could make up to 20. What does it look like if that high school senior already has those skills for success credentials before they walked across the stage to meet the apprenticeship requirement?
If they come in with like the paving related ones, shuttle buggy and others, 1850 is the minimum in my area. Obviously it changes around the state,
right.
But you could definitely be more. I've seen people with previous experience on things, depending on their knowledge level and skill set, be as high as 20 starting out, even without the apprenticeship program.
But if they had skid steer and roller at graduation time to beat that.
If they came in and could comfortably show us, like if we said, hey, would you mind proving you can operate a skid steer and a roller, and they have no problem being able to do that comfortably, it would be a lot more than 1850. So it would be a very good life for an 18-year-old kid for sure. If you don't mind being outside and working a lot of hours, making money and taking care of a family won't be a problem for you.
Awesome. No, because they're eligible for overtime.
Oh yeah, time and a half.
Even 18, yeah. Now, let me ask this. So all that stuff that y'all do once they're onboarded, which is really impressive. And I knew that in my soul, and I think I heard you talk about it. But what kind of stuff do you give those folks who are new or starting out, and this is their first, I'll say not real job. Like all jobs are real if you're trying to provide for people. But this is the first job that's maybe paying them above minimum wage.
Right.
What kind of advice or financial guidance do you give them for making all this new money?
So that's actually part of what we do with workforce development. I've actually created a couple of things. One of my projects, I went out and I was talking to a lot of people on paving crews, and I asked them like, hey, if this were if you had a chance to talk to somebody and their first day in this industry was tomorrow and they were getting ready to come out here and do what you do, what advice would you give them?
Yeah.
And I've literally created a document. And if you're in that situation, that day one starting with us, we print that document out, give it to you. And we even have a book that I created. It's called A Career Pathway. And it has every single job specific thing that you would be doing in that position for the first time ever, and like tips on how to do it, note pages so that you can write notes down from your foreman. It's big enough to just fit in your back pocket and keep on you at work as a reference.
Made it easy.
Yeah. But one of my favorite pages in the the intro thing that we created was when I asked everybody, like, hey, what tips would you give them for your first day? Because you get everything from please shower daily.
Helpful. You have to shower.
No, you don't have to, but
helps.
then you're just that person that everybody hopes doesn't walk by them because they have to smell you for 10
Or it
seconds.
needs to be an outside windy day and everybody else stand
Yeah, no,
upwind.
something like that. You know, you plan where you're going to work that day based off where they're standing.
Right.
But it's everything from shower daily to drink at least a gallon of water a day to, hey, carry a lunchbox, bring a lunch, because this is an industry where there is no scheduled, hey, 12 to 12:30 is lunch. If we're lucky, we're right next to a McDonald's or a Zaxby's or something. But for the most part, these guys bring their own lunch boxes. We've got some guys that have been doing it 20, 30 years. They'll bring sandwiches and stuff wrapped in tinfoil, and they'll use the actual paver as like their microwave. You know, you throw it right there on top of the mix.
Warm up a burrito that way.
300 plus degrees. They just throw it on there, let it heat up, take it off, take it out the tinfoil, and it's hot and ready to go. So
Cook a pizza at that temperature.
they can teach you all types of tricks on how to have lunch and how to prep. But you know, you'll see guys in the summertime like surviving the heat in their own ways. They'll have forks and jars of pickles on ice, and they'll just be stabbing into that jar and pulling out handfuls of pickles, like little slices to give to each other for hydration. And of course, my team, you know, we do what we can. We also, you know, as a company, make sure we have coolers and waters. And, you know, a couple summers ago, I bought misting fans for every paving crew so they could have that back there.
But that'd be nice.
Oh, yeah, no, they were great. I was soaking wet, but I was happy.
Did you ever catch them? Like, because I'm thinking if I'm on a paving crew, you bring me a mister fan, I'm not going to be serious because it's 1,000 degrees. And I'm going to be like posing in the mist.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever pose or catch somebody posing?
I haven't posed, but there are a couple of guys who I would not doubt would pose, you know, and they would be the least expected, you know, to do so. So I'm sure they've done it a time or two behind
That
my
would
back.
be the viral video.
Yeah, if only they would make those videos so we could capture those moments.
No, I bet they do. They just don't show you.
Yeah, no.
They got you blocked.
Apparently they haven't gone viral because they still work for us. You know, I hear all it takes is one to be rich nowadays.
So rich, viral. We talked about this off air. Viral and still employed.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
It's hard.
That is hard to do.
Let's switch to something that's not hard to do, and that's support the Innovation Center with resources to put our courses out in the world. So a long time ago, in September, we held the first paver and screed course down in Clanton.
Yes.
And then we held the second one in Jasper, and the second one was like the gold standard. The first one was good, but we learned a lot. You know, it was as good as we knew we could make it. The second one was like the absolute gold standard for any lab we've ever done in a pilot outside like that. So that was with the paver and the screed, paver operator and the screed operator. And for those folks who don't know, that is one giant machine. Not the biggest, but it's a big machine. Paver's in front. That's what the asphalt dumps into. And the screed's on the back, which actually puts the mat down. Y'all call it the mat.
Yep.
Don't let me forget about the quality assurance and quality control.
I'm totally going to let you.
We're getting, no, I got it written down.
I already
right there.
forgot.
Well, I did not.
Oh, you're writing it down twice. You're on page 2 of your notes already.
You talk a lot.
No, I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
That's why we asked you to come on. So tell us, because here's the thing, like, and I will say this to the world, Wiregrass, you were a student in the first one, but y'all rolled out the red carpet. Like talking about funding some stuff and like being generous. My goodness, what y'all have invested in that course. With never like, hey, do you realize what we did? Like we saw it, we bragged on it, and it was phenomenal. I'm very thankful. But tell us from a regional talent workforce development specialist, ACCS leadership council person role. What does it mean to be able to participate in that course to make it right? So when it's out there in the world, you know you've got a good product.
To me, I mean, it means everything to us to be able to go in there and fine tune it, get the feedback of not only ourselves from a teaching standpoint and a training standpoint, but also have our employees, like actual employees, all the way from a laborer up to the people that were teaching it, seeing it for the first time and going, I've been doing this 30 years, but this book is foreign to me. Be able to give their feedback because they'll go through it and be like, this doesn't make sense. This only applies to this. But being able to have them go in, fine tune it and make it perfect and know that not only is it going to better our employees in the future and make them what we need them to be successful, but it's also going to be used outside of our industry. It's going to be used for people coming out of prison, coming out of, rehabilitation centers, coming out of high school, coming out of, dropping out of school because they just have a bad situation. And, this is an avenue and a resource for them to be able to use to get a foot in the door in our industry. So for us to be able to say, hey, we need this to be like this for these people to be taken seriously once they take it. Because I've seen people take classes of types in the past, and you tell them, okay, that's great. So you're certified to do this. Go ahead, get started. They don't even know how to crank the machine. So
yeah. Well, we certainly knocked all that out. The first paper and screed, you were a student.
Yes,
which is very powerful to know that you're going to go through something that you're ultimately going to send people to.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So tell us what it was like from a student perspective of going through the online theory and then going through the hands-on to prepare to use it later.
So the online theory is time consuming, but it's necessary because to me, it shows that person's commitment to that class. Like, are you just wanting to be there during the day and get some hours, or do you actually want to absorb this material and get better? And we've had some that completely ignored the lab work or the online material and just did the class stuff, and they learned the hard way, like, hey, that doesn't fly. But doing it myself, you have to actually commit, do it, knock it out, and then you go to the class and you can give feedback like, hey, some of this online stuff needs to be tweaked, some of it can be redacted, edited, whatever. But to experience what they're experiencing and then have them come back with what they want to say, this happened, that happened, I can't do this. I'm like, yes, you can. I have a kid in my lap and another one screaming, and trying to sing the Muppets to me at night, and I knocked it out myself.
Yeah, I remember in that first pilot, we were working on the curve, like paving in the curve.
Oh yeah,
and trying to get the gate at the end of the screed?
Yeah, they're trying to extend the gate and adjust around the curve.
Yeah, and so basically we had like a line we painted on the ground. It's a curve, like an arc, and you got to adjust that gate as you go, and so the sand is jumping out to it, but you got to bring it in, and so you're that screed operator, and the paver's driving. And the screed operator is just making it work. And then we had an obstacle that had to go around like a cone or something.
Yeah, it was a few, yeah.
A few different obstacles, so you got to move it out and all that. It was really impressive. Your notes, I remember specifically, your notes up there on that far end is what drove really the edit of that whole thing, because we didn't know how it would look. And so your feedback on that was really good. So you flash forward to running that as a student, and then you ran it down in Jasper for a whole other, actually 3 crews. We partnered that one with a shuttle buggy. And we got some of those pictures. We'll maybe show them of 2 dump trucks, a shuttle buggy, and the paver and screed all running in sync. Like probably a 3 or 4 football field square area. What was that whole process like for you? Because it was just world class standard.
If we're going to do something, we're going to do it right. You want to practice how you play, so to speak. And, to be able to give them that full experience, the full effect, driving a paver is one thing, but having to back up that dump truck to your paver, instruct them with hand signals, coordinate your turns, and actually feel what it's like, because a lot of people don't realize the dump truck in front of the paver is being controlled by the guy driving the paver, not the dump truck. Like he's pushing the brakes a little bit to help you out, but the paver operator has a lot of control there. So for them to actually be able to see it that way and do it that way and get that experience, and then of course have a shuttle buggy at the same time and have somebody on the back, having to coordinate with the screed operator guys at the same time. It's a lot, but it's the best way to train, because it simulates what they're going to run into better than just saying, here's a machine, drive it in a circle. Yay, you can do it.
Yeah. So we're going to have a picture of this, but just imagine like you've got a dump truck dumping in the shuttle buggy, which is picking it up. It's just a conveyance machine, and it's arching into the paver, which is all wet sand. And then that's running back to the screed where they're actually putting down the sand mat, which is just wet sand on like a 1 inch or 2 inch surface. It was really cool. That's a very complex.
Yeah, and we were simulating a curve at the same time during that class. So the shuttle buggy was actually over, and they had to turn the arm to do it at an angle, which more often than not, shuttle buggy's just straight in front, and they're using it, like you said, as a conveyor system. But to have them say, hey, we're going to do this at an angle, like a curve. So it was just another level of stuff that somebody on the shuttle buggy the first time probably wouldn't have to deal with.
Yeah.
So it was great to get them on there and do that as well.
Yeah, that shuttle buggy can crab walk. Like, this is a 60-foot wide long machine, right?
Yeah, it doesn't mess around.
No, it's massive, but it both axles turn, so it's like crab walk in the spot is really cool. So it is really cool. We're going to launch that course soon. We got all the numbers figured out on it, so I hope that you will come and on Zoom and speak to the colleges about how, why, where, all the things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you'll have a good time with that. Well, good. We're getting on down. We're almost about 45 minutes in. Michael, it's happened so quick.
Oh, we're going to get cut off by the man in the sky. Here's
Yes. From. No, he's very nice to us. He's very professional. But final thoughts out there for all the people listening. Like, why would they want to get involved? Why would they want their young people or their folks looking for a career change? Why would they choose Wiregrass Construction?
Because our people are our priority. We will sacrifice production. We will sacrifice a job to prioritize our people and their safety. And we care just as much about what's going on in your home life outside of work as we do your performance at your 9 to 5, which obviously not 9 to 5 for most of us. But, the fact that we care about people more than we care about what we do, and we really care about what we do. We want to make sure we just won state and national awards in paving. So we obviously care about a good product, but if our people go home and are miserable in their home life and have no outlets to be able to help them there when they leave work, then honestly, what good are we actually doing for anybody?
Yeah, they got to want to come back the next day. And I hope that we capture that too on our team. Well, I can tell you all of that is absolute truth. I've seen it around. I've talked to Eric for a long time. And every time I've been around you and your team and watching you interact with your team, that is 100% true. Like, that's what you do.
Oh, we have fun.
Yeah. I saw that just by the rapport and the command you have, not of them, but with them, it's good. How would they get connected to you if they want to go work for Wiregrass or find out what's cooking over there?
Yeah, wiregrassconstruction.com. There's a join us button right there. For job opportunities, you can go on. And of course, if you're already familiar with Skills for Success or you're enrolled in one of their classes and Wiregrass is a partner that you want to know more about, talk to whoever you're working with in Skills for Success. And they can easily get a hold of me, and we'll have somebody reach out and make that connection.
Absolutely. Matt, how does all this look for you in the K-12 world?
I think just the Innovation Center in general, without people like Michael and Wiregrass and other industry, what we do doesn't happen, because without the industry request and that statewide need for a course, it never happens. So for you to be able to come in and be part of a course on that scale to help promote it statewide is kind of the why we really do everything. But thank you.
Oh yeah, we would not be where we are without the support of Wiregrass. Just from the get go, the answer is always yes.
Yeah.
Actually, Eric Fulmer's helping us work out on the backhoe pilot.
That does not surprise me,
of all things, down in Andalusia. So looking forward to that. That's going to be coming up in the next couple of months. So. Good deal. Well, thanks for joining us, Micheal Breland of Wiregrass Construction. Much appreciated as always.
Well, yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh, well, always a fun time. Matt, we are out of here.
Out of time. They're cutting the lights out. Again, there's been quite a few mention of Skills for Success during this episode. If you're interested in any type of Skills for Success course, you can find that information at trainforalabama.com. That's train, FOR. Alabama.com. And this is going to conclude another episode of Innovation Unplugged. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow on all our social media platforms. Thank you.